unsuspecting internet citizens get dragged into a world of chaos and drama. It can happen to anyone, anywhere, at any time. Massive, open, online courses have infested the world of education, and the most notorious of these is ds106. On today's episode, I, Kim Droom, will give you a look into the bizarre world of addiction and redemption that is ds106. But first, a little history.
Hi, Officer Halloran. How are you? Good, Danny. How are you today? Fine, thanks for asking, Officer Halloran. Now, can I ask you a question? Sure, Danny. What is it? You know anything about this open online course called ds106? This crazy digital storytelling course that people can take for credit and others can take freely online as they want? I've never heard of ds106 before, Danny. Why would someone take a course for no credit? Well, supposedly ds106 is not simply a college course, but it's also an open experience where people inspire one another, provide technical support and feedback for finishing a wide range of assignments, and if that's not groovy enough, ds106 gives everybody the ability to do the assignments they want to do, or even create and submit their own. They don't care for the existing. This sounds like some sick socialist conspiracy, Danny. Are there a group of disgruntled Canadians behind this? In many ways, yes. The MOOC was dreamed up by the Canadians Alec Couros, George Siemens, Stephen Downes, and Dave Cormier. But the idea travels well. Others are taking up the call all around the world, and ds106 might be theoretically located at the University of Mary Washington, but in many ways it's already a global affair. People all over the world are sharing their work, and a community of practice around inspired creativity and respectful and encouraging feedback is developing. Sounds a bit sketchy to me, Danny. No young child should trust middle-aged people trying to be cool on the web by making animated GIFs. Something is rotten in Denmark. Well, last I heard they were on the up and up, Officer Halloran, but some critical distance might be a good idea, especially given how many people treat it like a cult or yell for life, or endlessly narrate how the course community changed their life. My friend Grant the Tinkerer even created an internet radio station for ds106 so they could experiment with the new platform for storytelling while simultaneously playing with possibilities of easy access to synchronous presentations on the course radio station. TV, radio, synchronous presentations without Blackboard Collaborate. Danny, this sounds not only dangerous, but downright illegal. Do your parents know about ds106? My father actually uses the writing exercises to help him get inspired, Officer Halloran. He's been suffering through a bad case of writer's block this winter. The ds106 writing assignments are slowly nursing him back to form, with regular comments on his work, plenty of encouragement, as well as an animated GIF or two, so that he knows we still care. Well, Danny, I guess you know what you're doing. You're a good kid, with a level head on your shoulders. But ds106 seems to be making learning fun again. It doesn't even sound like a course. Well, Officer Halloran, to be honest with you, I'm really not sure if ds106 is a course.
Whether ds106 is a course or not is a great question little Danny had. And bigger question is, how did they design this site? How do people do assignments? And what is this ds106 radio thing? Following, we have both Jim Groom and Grant Potter, who will take us through both the architecture, the site design, as well as ds106 radio. So stay tuned.
How's it going? This is Jim Groom, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the architecture of both ds106 as a site, the thinking behind that architecture, as well as look at some assignments. And then Grant Potter is going to take us through ds106 radio. Well, the idea of ds106 was really born out of an essay in EDUCAUSE's, the EDUCAUSE Review by Gardner Campbell. It's called The Personal Cyber Infrastructure. And what he argues in this essay is basically that every student should have their own cyber infrastructure, should they have their own web hosting and domain, and that should be a place where they become a kind of sysadmin of their own education and the imagination of it. And this was given both as an essay but also as a talk at Open Ed 2009. And it really struck me, and I kind of shaped the idea behind ds106 as a class on what Gardner was saying. But then when I opened it up, in January of 2011, it took on really new dimensions. And how that happened is really a story of both design and community. And let me just give you the quick one of the design. Martha Burtis and I developed this site called ds106.us. And the idea of the site is everyone goes out and gets their own web host and domain. And we take all those links and we syndicate them into the ds106.us site. And as you can see, there's all these different posts from all around the web. And if you click on continue reading, it will take you to that person's blog and their post. And you'll notice that we also can reflect comments. So we were able to pull the comments, or at least the number of comments on a post in. So this is kind of an aggregated space that is a place where you can see the community and subscribe via email or RSS to see what's going on. But what's even cooler is Martha Burtis, based on an idea from in a comment on a blog post by Tom Woodward, was the idea of submit an assignment. How could we let anyone submit an assignment? So rather than me dictating these are the 8 assignments for the semester, the idea was let's come up with a series of topics like visual assignments, design assignments, video, audio, etc., and allow people to kind of submit them based on the category, as you can see here, but then also give an example URL, say who you are, and describe the assignment. Well, we did that, and actually people started submitting them. To the point now that if you look under any of here, we have about 175 assignments submitted. And they're awesome. Here's an example of some design assignments, like the minimalist TV poster or the minimalist travel poster. These are examples of something that people have submitted. And you'll notice if you click on this link, each of them have their own page. So not only can you see the assignment, see how people have voted for it, but you can also see everyone who's done it. So you get a long list of the people who have done this particular assignment. And as you can see, linking back to their blog, we have a tremendous amount of people who kind of joined in on this. And this is actually true for many of the assignments. For example, here's a minimalist travel poster, a similar design assignment, but once again, look at all the people who have done it. It's really kind of an interesting model for both an open assignment that anyone can do, but also a space for sharing what people have done. For example, this one, if you look at it, is on Darcy Norman's blog, and this is a travel poster for US Station 31 from the movie The Thing, and it's just brilliant. Another thing that happened is people started doing cool assignments. For example, the animated GIF. Zach Davis, back in October, sent me a link to this site, and it's this basic person online who does these amazingly artful animated GIFs, and it kind of reinfuses the animated GIF with a sense of art and purpose. So what happened is a series of people in ds106 started playing with this. So here's a good example of some of the animated GIFs that people in ds106 did. Here's one from The Shining, which for me is kind of like an excellent example of a film in pop culture, kind of the way in which that infests the course. This one is by Tim Owens, and this is from Labyrinth. This is by Julia Forsyth. This is from Brazil, and it's also all about digital identity. It's another one from Julia Forsyth, and notice the blackboard she put in the background. So she's actually now almost modifying the animated GIF. And before the class even started on January 10th, this is by Michael Branson Smith, there are almost 200 blog posts before the course had even started. 200 people had actually done animated GIFs.
Hello everyone, my name is Grant Potter. I'm here to tell you about ds106 Radio, the web radio station that grew out of ds106. So, first of all, let me say that more than anything, it was fun. It was the opportunity to explore sound, audio, and soundscape, storytelling through solely audio, exploring old forms, and pushing them out there in new ways with other educators as well as with students. But the thing that I think that jazzed me up the most was the enthusiasm. and the sense of fun and exploration that the DS106 radio folks brought to that environment. It was a rich group of learners of all ages, and particularly that sense of that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to learn in public and muddle your way through things. And it was such a great experience to see people's skills in technical skills, but not only just the technical, but public speaking skills, the ability to sort of speak on the fly about issues and use audio in combination with the back channel. It was a rich learning experience, and I'm so grateful for it.
Now that you have a sense of the DS106 history, as well as how the architecture of DS106 radio work, maybe it's time for you to take a look and hear some of the testimonials, how DS106 changed people's lives. For better or for worse, you be the judge. On this segment of the world's craziest educational videos, we'll take a look at Timmy Boy, a scared, lonely kid that was susceptible to the temptations of the internet. His job had taken his talents for granted. His life was losing its meaning. He had no friends, no family, no focus. He was dabbling in standardized testing, taking hits of whiteout, and spending all his money on interactive whiteboards. He hit rock bottom. In prison, Timmy Boy found DS106, and he got saved. We have Timmy Boy backstage. Let's listen to what he has to say.
DS106 may have just started out as an online course, but it's much more than that now. We're a community of active learners engaged in the process of creating art and sharing in an open online format. The really powerful thing about this community is how people have opened themselves up. By narrating their process of learning and not being afraid to experiment, I've made solid friendships with people I've never met outside of these virtual hallways. It's incredibly powerful and simply not something I can say I've ever experienced in a course run inside the walls of Blackboard. The greatest testament I have to the power of these online networks is that as a direct result of the connections I made through DS106, I took my current position at the University of Mary Washington in the Division of Teaching and Learning Technologies, where DS106 was born. I now get to play a part in the process of rethinking online learning in amazing and new ways.
In this segment of the world's craziest educational videos, we'll hear from Julia Forsyth. Before DS106, she refused to blog regularly. She watermarked all her images and copyrighted all her videos and illustrations. Her social life on the web was bordering on hermetic, at least until DS106. Julia joined DS106 back in January 2011, and neither her nor the course have ever been the same since. She's extremely creative, reflective, and energetic, and she drives the force that is the DS106 bus. Take a look for yourself.
Hi everybody, my name is Julia, and I'm here to tell you about how DS106 changed my life. DS106, beforehand, I did have a blog, but the frequency of blogging was very minimal, and afterwards, the frequency of blogging increased significantly. There are a few reasons for this, of course. I mean, creativity definitely increased as well. The daily shoot, taking pictures every day, it prompted me to look at things in different ways. It prompted me to think about being creative. It caused me to start drawing more. Of course, the radio listening made me want to start mixing things up from the stuff that I had heard and the stuff that I had watched. I started adding video and music and my drawings together, and I started remixing things. I started releasing it under Creative Commons. So between the creativity, remixing my culture, and creating an amazing community, or actually tapping into an incredible community, the people that I met through DS106, completely online, and since I've met a few of them face to face, just blown my mind. Really smart people with really great ideas. And the connections and the ideas that they have had indirectly, I've been able to use in other networks professionally, and have allowed me to see the value in different tools like Twitter and Flickr and SoundCloud. It's been a phenomenal experience. It is truly lifelong learning at its best.
ds106, redemptive force for lost souls, or freak magnet? I'll let you be the judge of that. But one thing's for sure about ds106, it's for life. ds106 is all about redemptive unicorns and rainbows. Think again. For many, ds106 has become a sick addiction they just can't shake. Creative junkies looking for the next drive-by assignment fix. This is the seedy side of mooks. Anyone can take them at any time, and you may find yourself part of a desperate deal with the devil. Just look at Noise Professor in this following clip.
Hey, come here. Hey, I'm looking for something, yeah? That thing we were talking about? ds106? I don't know, it's like a class, but not really. It's kind of like you do all these things and you meet all these people and I don't know, I can't stop thinking about it. It's like you go to sleep thinking about it and you dream about it and wake up thinking about it. I need another one. Come on. All right, well, you know where to find me, right? Yeah, all right, peace.
Addiction is a constant threat in ds106, but the consequences of not taking this course may even be greater. As Alan Levine attests to in the following video, ds106 can be the creative ride of your life, with an awesome online community predicated on love, respect, and openness. Perhaps the only thing worse than getting addicted to ds106 is not getting addicted to ds106 at all.
I have 140 some blog posts tagged ds106. Why is that? I'm not enrolled in this course. But it just drives me to want to dip in when I can, which is sometimes often, sometimes a lot, to be able just to try things, to learn, to push, to be stretched. And ds106 does that all the time. If you're a non-enrolled student, you pick and choose what you want to do. If you are in the class, you get a lot of attention. You get attention from people who aren't even in the class, who help you, who guide you. And it's just the richest community I've been a part of in any place on the internet. I've made more useful contacts for people who share a common interest in this creative space than through any other channel that I've ever done. And I've been on the internet for a pretty damn long time. ds106, it is more than for life. It's more than a course. It's more than a community. It is, in fact, and it's maybe even a joke because that was the name of the way it's been taught now, the center of the internet. The center of the creative internet. It might not be understandable from the outside, so dip yourself in.
And make no mistake about it, ds106, it's for life! We'll ask the question, can you have too much of a good thing? Can ds106 push people to the very edges of moral turpitude? In this heart-wrenching confession, we'll see Michael Branson Smith describe the vice-like hold ds106 has had over his teaching, learning, and creativity. And the question we must ask, is a confession when you're not willing to say sorry?
Bless me, Reverend. It's been 3 months since my last thoughtful blog post. This is really hard to talk about. I've wanted to tell you about this problem I'm having. See, I met these people on Twitter, and they told me about this website called ds106. I made them a little animated GIF of Batman running. It was really fun. I made a few more animated GIFs, and people really liked them. And I started to receive all these comments on my blog, and it was so exciting. So I made more and more animated GIFs, and then it was MacGuffins and triple trolls, mashups, you name it, I'd make it. And I was receiving all this praise, and I was commenting on all these blogs. It was a lot, but it was great, really, really great. But then, well, you see, ds106 has this radio station, and all these people do radio shows, and they said I could do one too. It did seem possible. I could be a DJ on the radio, and people would listen. I was nervous about it, but they were all so nice, and it seemed like so much fun, so I did it. Suddenly I was on the streets talking to strangers about squatting on on this piece of property they didn't own, broadcasting it live on the radio, and these people in DS106 would tell me what questions to ask. They were making me do this, you see, making me engage people I never would have, take risks in the classroom. I couldn't stop. I wouldn't stop. You can't take my DS106 away from me, my brothers and sisters at DS106. And so I did it. I did it for them, for DS106, for all those that couldn't possibly know what DS106 means, how much it had done for me. I needed to show them, so I shaved my head. I connected with my needs to express for myself, not for me, but for the thing called DS106, this community, this, dare I say, family. So it's this confession which I tell you I'm not confessing. I'm declaring, actually I'm saying DS106 for life.
DS106, massive open online menace, or the most creative community on the web? You be the judge. But one thing's for sure, DS106, it's for life.